all the way back to the first time I talked to the kids about what show we were doing this year. And at that time we didn't have a title for it. And I told them it was going to be a show about love, but it wasn't going to be cheesy. And they didn't believe me. Which is weird because we've had, I don't know, 5 great shows in a row, and they still get nervous every time I announce the show. And then little by little, when we got the title, those who don't know, it's called Heart Attack, a Love Story. And every show that we write starts from one idea, one part of the show, and then we build it out from there. This year, the part that's been in my head for a couple of years was part 2. It's the ballad. I wanted it sung by someone. I wanted it to have a sound of an old record playing, and I wanted to have jazz backing it up. And Danny Domak has done a great job singing it this year. And I was nervous about having one person have that much responsibility in the show, because if they got ill or something happened. We also had 2 fantastic understudies, Crystal Escarcega and Rhiannon Neighbors. Did a great job. I was able to rehearse this a few times. And then from there, we built out into part 1, and we decided to use a piece by Ron Nelson called Rocky Point Holiday, which is a very, very difficult piece to play. One of the judges mentioned how difficult a piece that is to play when you're sitting down in a concert hall, and we decided to use that as part 1. The very beginning, if you don't know the piece, is by a band called Living Color, the very first 30 seconds or so, and it's a song called Love Rears Its Ugly Head. And then we go into Rocky Point Holiday, and then part 2, which is most of that is a very old piece called Falling in Love Again. And then we end with a piece that most people, when they hear it, don't realize it's an Ozzy Osbourne piece, because we didn't write it like an Ozzy Osbourne piece. But it's a fantastic song. It's called Mama, I'm Coming Home. We did have one judge comment on the fact that we had a Ron Nelson piece in the same show with the Ozzy Osbourne piece, and it worked. So it's kind of become our style recently to do some pop music and some classical music in the same show, and I think we're one of the only bands that can pull it off and make it sound like all the same band. And most of that is because of our fantastic writers. I mentioned Mark Leversedge before, writing the drum parts, and Martin Hepta, who is the band director at Casa Grande, has written our show for the last 4 years for the wind parts and mallet instrument parts, and he does a fantastic job as well. So this show is called Heart Attack, a Love Story. It was super fun. Early on in the season, the kids weren't sure about it, and frankly, the staff wasn't sure about it either. And then everybody, no pun intended, kind of fell in love with the show, fell in love with this band. I really thought this year was going to be a building year. We graduated 55 great seniors last year. To give you an idea of how young the band is, I have 20 trumpets, and 10 of them are freshmen. And so yeah. And so they just came through. They bought into the program, especially the freshmen. It's a fantastic freshman class, bought into the program. You know, it's embarrassing for me a little bit when Mrs. Brunningham, other people have said nice things about me, when I feel like I'm getting more out of working with these kids than they're getting from me. So you guys have done a great job bringing them all the way to 9th grade. And when we get them, they're just ready, eager, and they're spreading the word, because every year the band's gotten bigger. And I mean, I don't know if you saw the picture on Facebook of the Color Guard auditions for Winter Guard. I think there was 59, 60 people there. We actually had to cut some people because we just don't have room on the buses for those shows. So it's just, the whole program is growing, and you know, I talked to Ike. I can't remember his last name. He's from the Academy Drum Bugle Corps. He happened to be down this last weekend. What? Jackson, yeah. Ike Jackson, who also works with Ayala Marching Band. That's a band in California who they have for their budget for drum staff is $52,000 a year. That's a high school. So I was talking to him over the weekend. I got to drive him to the airport, and he kept saying, "So you guys are taking over down here." And I said, is that what they're saying in Phoenix? And he said, yeah, that's what they're saying in Phoenix. And I talked to the band that won. The band that won, Sandra Day O'Connor, I was talking to her, the director from that band, and I said, so do people talk about our, because we went to championships, and out of 30 bands, we were the only one from Tucson. There was only 5 bands outside of Phoenix. And I said, I asked her, I said, so do directors up in Phoenix talk about Rincon University? And she said, that's all they talk about.
Yeah.
So we're making some people nervous in a good way. They're great people up there, and it's. I feel like finally some things happened at the state level, and I feel like we're getting the recognition we deserve. And the kids stepped it up, and we wrote a difficult show this year, and they performed it at a higher level than any of the easier shows we've written in the past. So here's, for the last time this year, we're going to play Heart Attack, a love story. I hope you enjoy it.
to recognize that there cannot be relationships unless there is commitment, unless there is loyalty, unless there is love, patience, persistence,